Summer's behind us, and we're back with another Fallout Miami development update. Hope you all enjoyed the environmental showcase we released recently. Things have gotten pretty crazy this year, so we hope you and yours are doing as good as possible, all things considered. Current events haven't stopped us from working on Miami, and we're stoked to show you a few of the things we've gotten done over the past months. Quick recruitment call before we get started. Pre-production on the main quest is finished, and we've moved on to the main bulk of writing, and have started quest implementation. But there's a lot of elements that go into it. An important one is those charming animated quest icons we all know and love. Our 2D department has delivered some wonderful ones so far. Not that we'd spoil those just yet. If you are or know someone skilled in Flash animation, get in touch. You can find a link to the application form in the description. You guys remember those cool songs we always start the updates with? Yeah, well, there's still more of the soundtrack you haven't heard, so here's another one. This dark dirge, titled Grim Fandango and composed by Garrett Bilo, will haunt players as they explore the remnants of Miami's Bayshore region at night. That's Cubano's territory, and the goal of this track is to capture the feeling of that old-world Cuban charm still clinging to life in the vacation wasteland. We've already talked about most of the factions you can expect to see in Miami, but most doesn't mean all. We're not going into any detail about these guys, gotta keep y'all guessing, right? But here's a look at some tribal coconut masks. The group wearing these is pretty infamous. They cause a lot of trouble for plenty of people. Concept art by Marco Lipovac. Most of the 3D models for them are ready, so we can't wait to show them to you next time when we have them implemented in the game, adorning the faces of their mean-as-hell owners. Sticking to the theme of factions and concept art, don't worry, we'll show 3D stuff too. We'd like to take a step back and revisit the slavers of Sunshine Cove. They've seen a substantial redesign over the past few months, courtesy of Olivia Białek, our 2D art lead. Since they had their start at the time of the Great War and were originally the workers of the Sunshine Hotel and Casino, we wanted to more accurately represent this in outfits worn by their descendants. These staff uniforms would embody the strict hierarchy of Sunshine Cove in its early days. If you were at the hotel and wearing one when Mr. Goodman began styling himself as a slaver king, then you had the honor of working for him. If you were a guest just visiting, you were now his property. And speaking of Goodman, we've also redesigned the man himself. Well, his progeny and current king of Sunshine Cove, Gabriel Goodman. Concept art by Annabelle Coe. Despite recent setbacks at the hands of the nuclear patriots, Gabriel has been able to maintain his operation and opulent lifestyle. But the clock is ticking for his castle on the beach, and there are many players who want to claim the jewel in pre-war Miami's crown for themselves. One faction that's not so interested in that is the Rovers. They might not be the smallest fish around, but compared to Sunshine Cove, they swim in the shallows. These insular, swashbuckling scavengers only look out for themselves. They put in a lot of effort maintaining a fierce reputation. Whether it's warranted or not, it sure does keep people away from the pier and the pirate ship restaurant they call home. We have Robin Knoll to thank for bringing Olivia's concept for these outfits to life. Olivia was also responsible for concept art for the new plants players can encounter when exploring Miami's more overgrown areas, like the Green. We gave you a glimpse of that in the A Day in Miami environmental showcase. Last year, we showed off the concept art for some of our new harvestable plants, but we didn't talk about the ones meant to just enhance the look and feel of the vacation wasteland's wilder spots. Mustafa Ali has done an amazing job realizing these weird exotic plant designs. You don't often think about, but stuff like this can really help set a location apart and give you a sense that you are truly somewhere else in the world. It's our goal to make Miami feel distinct, with a touch of strangeness to make it wholly its own and unforgettable. A big part of that is the flora, and we'll show you more of it later down the line. Brands are also pretty important, and we've already talked about many of our own in previous development updates, so let's add another one to the list. Gasolina Caribica, stylized as Gas Car, is a subsidiary of Poseidon Energy and was one of the last remaining suppliers of traditional fossil fuel before the war. Gascar was a strong regional competitor to Red Rocket, becoming a dominant gas station chain in the Gulf Commonwealth, sourcing all of its oil from offshore drilling platforms. Before they ran dry, that is. These days, all that's left are the curious-looking, bongo-shaped kiosks ravaged by time, weather, and, well, ravagers. YoShift came up with the design, and Olivia did the logo. The 3D model for them is actually done, courtesy of Tom, an absolute unit of an asset artist. It's true. God, I love Tom's sign work. Okay, hang on. I got really excited. Oh, Tom. What an absolute unit. Okay. The 3D model for them is actually done, courtesy of Tom, an absolute unit of it. Oh my god. This is a disaster. We're gonna keep trucking. We're gonna record this bitch. We're gonna go. We're gonna get it done. We're still working on getting them set up in-game, so expect some screenshots of that next time. We're not gonna do our boy Tom dirty. Since he joined, he's been kicking butt and turning out assets for all kinds of things that really help make Miami feel lived in. Especially the center, our main town hub. Tom took all of the wonderful sign concepts drawn by Annabelle and brought them into 3D. We're not showing you all of them, gotta keep our powder dry, but we hope you like the ones we picked out. The center school is exactly what it says on the tin, or painted sheet metal in this case. It's a schoolhouse where Centurion children learn to read, write, do math, and about as much history as can be salvaged from pre-war books and holotapes. Just like any similar location, there are characters to talk to, such as the principal and sole teacher, Ramon Pacheco. He's a kind, thoughtful, intelligent man who has been able to devote his life to learning and teaching due to the security that the center's walls and police force provide. Magic City Mementos, on the other hand, is a general store owned and operated by Joan Tuttle, the city treasurer and mother of Lou Tuttle, one of the center's many guardsmen. Santos Firearms, also a store just a lot less general, is the place you go if you want to augment your arsenal or unload some surplus shooters found out in the wasteland. Unload is a pretty appropriate word, too, since you're not really allowed to carry loaded guns within the main structure of the center itself. The shop sells weapons direct to the public. The company makes most of its money from selling wholesale to organizations like Marsh Company and through exclusive contracts that allow them to buy weapons elsewhere and sell them in Miami. Santos Firearms is owned by the Trafficante brothers, Vinny and Joey, though you'll mostly see the latter tending the shop. His older brother is usually too busy at the Gilmore Theater with his associates at the Napoleon Room. While we'd love to go into more detail about what that is exactly, we'd like to have things there a little more finished before we start showing them off. For now, let's just say that the Napoleon Room is where the top cats of the center meet away from Mayor Anderson's hawkish gaze. Word on the street is that one of their golden boys is going to run against her in the upcoming mayoral elections. Let's close off with a screenshot from inside the Cuban Liberation Museum, mostly because we really want to show off the amazing mural drawn by Anatoly Mushenko, depicting our alternate version of the Bay of Pigs invasion. It's important for us that the locations in the vacation wasteland make sense and fill some role both before the war and presently when the players explore them 200 years later. The museum itself is in a rough part of town, one you'll be passing through soon after your arrival in Miami. Alright, I'd call that an update. While we're working on more, and while we'd love to show it to you guys, we think it's better for us and you when things are a little more spaced out. Gives us some time to focus on development and make sure what we're showing you is as close to final as possible, since things can always change or be revised. We've got more in store for you soon, so stay tuned to our channel. If you want to get in touch with us, you can find a link to our socials and our community Discord down in the description. And once again, if you're a whiz at Flash or happen to know one, we've got a lot of quest icons that need animating. Application form also in the description. Catch y'all later. Stay safe out there. We also need competent and experienced writers. Okay. If you're gonna submit to writing, don't you dare not include a portfolio. Okay, goodbye.